Hey, how you doing? It's Clayton Teeney from the First Homebuyer Club. 100 sessions in 100 days, day 12, lesson 12. And today what I want to talk about is 29 different ways you can save money while shopping. So according to the ASICS Money Smart website, the average person under 35 years of age, single person, spends around $122 per week on food. Compared to a couple without kids, that's 239, and for a family, it's anywhere between 282 to 333. So here's 29 ways I thought of saving money so that you can have more money in your pocket and more choices to do with it. Firstly is meal prep. The biggest thing that most of us do when shopping for food is just buying it as we think of it. And as a result, we spend a lot more money than what we can. There's a lot of things you can find online, including Googling recipes to help you look for the food ideas for the week. Second one is cook in bulk. So make a 3 or 4 meals in one hit and portion them out and box them up. And then you've got the meals prepped and it's all done in one go, and you can save a little bit more money. The third point, reduce the meals with unfamiliar ingredients. So, if you see those meals online and they've got like all these different spices and ingredients that you don't quite know about, just reduce them or not put those things in it to save yourself a little bit extra money when you're cooking your meals. Because, hey, 12 different spices in the meal, you're not going to be able to pick them apart. Fourth one, don't shop hungry. We all make that mistake. We go to the shops hungry and all of a sudden we're buying the chocolates that are on special at the counter and the foods that are discounted and right at the end of the stalls. The shopping centers or supermarkets they strategically place certain items at the end of the hallways and laneways and aisles just so that you can buy them. Just don't get caught in that trap. Next point is eat healthy. So a lot of us get in the habit of, buying the crappier foods, and all of a sudden we're eating a lot more during the day. Try and reduce the bad food intake that you have and eat a little bit more healthy because you can get a lot more in your stomach. Freeze unused produce. Cut off the spoilt pieces of fruit and vegetables. And what my mum used to be a classic for when I was a kid, make soups. You've got all this food that's just going to sit there. If you've got unused fruit and vegetable, use it. Seventh one, and it leads into this one, don't waste your food. So, if you're going to the shops and buying kilos of broccoli and kilos of potatoes every week, and then at the end of the week you're chucking it out as it gets spoiled, reduce the portion. Stop wasting it. Buy home brand. So I remember as a kid, home brand items used to be horrible. These days with the Woolworths and the Coles and all the brand name items that they bring out, you can't even tell the difference. But more importantly, you can sometimes save 50 or 70, $70 on a certain item. Look around and see what you can save. Look for the cheaper brands. So don't always go for the top end brand of everything just because it's the most expensive one in the pasta aisle or the fruit, not so much the fruit and veg, but in a certain aisle, doesn't mean it's the best. Online shop. So, if you online shop, you can actually stick to a budget, go through it. And then at the end, if you're not happy with all the items that are in there or you've gone over your certain figure, then you can just take some things out until make sure it stays at a certain price. Look for cheaper brands, online shop. Small and more frequent shopping visits. So this goes in hand with buying in bulk for the fruit and vegetable. And I know I was really bad at it when I was younger. Don't buy in bulk, like do a 2-week shop in one hit, because what tends to happen is there's going to be a lot of food that you're going to throw out, and as a result, you're just wasting money. So just plan your meals, go shorter trips, and then you don't have to worry about them getting old and being unusable. Reduce your portions. So a lot of us want to just fill our plates full of food and just tell ourselves that that's what we need to eat. Just start to reduce it slightly and just see the difference it makes. Instead of eating a kilo of steak every night, just bring it back to 800 grams or half a kilo. Or if you had half a kilo to 400 grams, you won't notice a difference itself. increase the veggies and reduce the meat. So you put more food on your plate if you're worried about being hungry. Put more veggies on, salad on, and whilst you're reducing a little bit of meat, you're compensating for the fruit and vegetables. Have a glass of water with every meal. So I'm really bad for this. I don't drink anywhere near enough water each day. So make it a habit that every meal you're going to have a full glass of water. It'll help fill you up quicker, but it'll also help you stay hydrated. Let it settle before you go back. So this is a problem that, and again, as a guy, I find I'm really hard at this. I will eat, and just eat as quick as I can. And as a result, I overeat. And then 10, 15 minutes later, what I find is I've eaten too much and I'm feeling sick in the stomach. Just reduce the portions, let it settle. If you're still hungry, go back. Not saying you can't eat, just reduce it and just ensure you're actually hungry before you actually filling it back up. Buy discounted, reduced items. So I'm a bargain shopper. I love going especially in the meat section. If I'm going to be at Coles to buy the meat, and I'll look for all the stuff that's reduced first up. If it's at half price and it expires tomorrow, I don't care. I'm eating it tonight. You can often save, $5, $10, $15 buying meat that's been reduced, and you're planning on eating it normally that night or the next night anyway. The other thing is, it doesn't matter if it's past its best by date. Anyone that's been in the military, and all my army friends can agree, we were forced to eat chocolate that was like 2, 3, 4 years old. If we could ever get chocolate was out of date the same year that we're eating it, we thought we'd hit the jackpot. Trust me, it's not going to be as bad as what you think. Check for unit prices. So here's the other thing: especially if you are going to buy things in bulk, check what it costs per 100 grams, or there'll be a unit figure there. So, you buy the smaller one and it costs $2 per 100 grams, but that slightly bigger one costs $1 per 100 grams. There's a huge saving there. Buy the bigger one, portion it out over a longer period, and you'll be saving money. Leave the kids and the responsible spenders at home. So, what happens, especially with the kids, you'll be going down the aisles and they'll be seeing the chocolates and the biscuits and the chips and all those not so good items that you try to avoid for them. And they'll be trying to throw them in the trolleys or nag you for them. And sometimes you just give up. Try and keep them at home so you can stick to what you need to do and then move on. Don't be loyal to the shopping centers. Be smart with what you buy and where you buy. The other thing is that from time to time, and I do it as well, I buy my meat from the butchers. Now, sometimes I buy the meat because I got to walk past the butcher, and all of a sudden I just come for one steak and I'm buying one steak, a couple of rissoles and some sausages. Don't just buy it because it's always there and you've got to walk past. Write a list. So to keep on budget and to keep it within a figure and not going out overboard, write a list of the food you need for the week, which will help when you meal prep at the start to ensure that you don't just buy whatever comes to mind, because then you see the discounts and the specials, you start throwing more and more things into your trolley. Create a food budget and stick to it. Don't be loyal. I've already talked about that. Don't buy it just because you have. So again, just because you tend to buy it most days doesn't mean that you have to always buy it. If you're not eating bread, don't keep buying bread every week just because you've always bought it. Sign up to frequent flyer programs. You can often get free stuff for nothing and you would have already spent the money. One thing that I do is I have all my credit cards linked up to my Qantas frequent flyer points. And I've been fortunate the last 2 times I've gone to America, I've flown at least one trip business class by just upgrading using my points. It's money for nothing. I would have already spent that money. Pay attention to the prices. So, like if you start paying attention to them and you notice that at the markets on the weekend, apples are $2 a kilo, yet at Coles, they're $3.80. There's an instant saving you can do without even actually doing much, right? Just pay attention. If you're going to be in those areas, you might as well use it anyway. The next point is find the app There's always an app for everything. There's probably an app that's going to save you money with food and shopping. Find it, find where the specials are, and if they're within your proximity or driving routes anyway, just use them. The next one is change your eating habits. You'll find once you change your eating habits that you'll suddenly start to decrease your portions or start eating healthy, and that's all with you. Now, we're not asking you to live off bread and water just so you don't get anything. It's just change those habits to create new ones. And the last one is track your results, right? So if you're spending $300, $400, $500 every week on food, and all of a sudden you start doing your meal prepping and writing a shopping list and sticking within a budget, and within a month or so you've suddenly dropped, $100 or $200 in spending, that's a really amazing result. Track it so that you can see the results and you can stay on track. If you don't, you'll start to second guess yourself or wonder if you're actually doing the right thing or if it's even working. All right, guys, what I want you to do, because I'm sure you've all got a tip or strategy or something where you can save money at the supermarkets. I just want everyone to put 1 point in the comments below of how you save money at the shops, and let's create a massive list that everyone can use. All right, guys, have a good Friday. Thank you. Bye.